On Wednesday morning, Cecilia Vega issued a scathing report about President Donald Trump on ABC's Good Morning America. Then, anchor Robin Roberts brought on FEMA Chief Brock Long and did her best to get him to do the same. Unfortunately for the liberal network, the FEMA official didn't exactly give them the politically motivated answers they were looking for. After asking a few generalities about Hurricane Florence and how those affected could best respond to it, Robin Roberts tried to get FEMA Chief Brock Long to bash the Trump administration with two questions. First, she brought up a report from MSNBC's Rachel Maddow claiming that the Department of Homeland Security redirected $10 million from the Federal Emergency Agency to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, asking if aid for Florence would be hindered by that move. But Long quickly shot down the hype, saying, "No, not at all. It's just an attempt to divert away from the life safety issues of Florence. It does not come out of the disaster relief fund that funds everything behind me, that funds everything in the field. So it's a non-issue for us at this moment. Isn't it ironic how the Democrats complain about every penny spent when there's a Republican in office, but when Obama was president, he sent Iran pallets of taxpayer cash without the left ever batting an eye? We now know that that money went to fund extremist terrorist groups hell-bent on bringing death and destruction to the United States and her citizens, but don't hold your breath waiting for Cecilia Vega of Robin Roberts to address that on the news." With Roberts' first Trump-bashing attempt being a total disaster, she moved on and tried once again. This time, she tried to bait Long into criticizing the Trump administration for touting its response to Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico last year. "A final question," said Roberts, "this is something that Cecilia and George touched upon, the statements President Trump made yesterday and also tweeting today talking about the efforts after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, calling it an incredible unsung success. Do you agree with that?" The FEMA chief once again refused to take the bait, instead, explaining how the media's portrayal of the response to Maria was very different from the reality of the situation. "Look, said Long, the effort into Puerto Rico was a huge effort by the federal government. The problem is that FEMA was the only responder going in and we were the first responder, and that's not the way that disaster response and recovery works.